Welcome to another wacky edition of Whack Wednesdays featuring JD and me, Parachum.
Presented by Chemin with the Spirits.
Yes. So this one is pretty unique.
Not
It
interesting.
is.
It's unique. Uniqueness. This one's the baffling biology. On February 19th, 1994, in California, 6 staff members of a 7-person medical team at Riverside General Hospital were rendering unconscious when one of the attendants took a blood sample from Gloria Ramirez. I actually know this story.
Yeah.
Who had been admitted semi-conscious with vomiting, chest pains, and trouble breathing. A slick, oily film coated her body. Ramirez's medical history said that she was being treated for cervical cancer with an anti-nausea drug only and had not yet begun radiation treatments. As a syringe punctured her skin, strong ammonia-like fumes filled the air, knocking out most of the team. Only one of the members was unaffected for some unknown reason. The ambulance members who brought her to the hospital were also not affected. It is uncertain exactly where the fumes originated from. The emergency room was evacuated. Those who had been contaminated on to suffer extreme symptoms, and 2 required hospitalization. One doctor became bedridden with bone degenerating disease, and another required a ventilator because of erratic breathing. 3 of the teams appeared to have been poisoned by the deadly chemical class called oranges. I can't pronounce.
Organophosphates.
Organophosphates.
Organic phosphates.
Blood samples taken from Ramirez and one of the infected staff members were shown to contain unknown particles of white and yellow crystalline materials. Ramirez died shortly after entering the hospital, and her autopsy was performed in a special sealed coroner's chamber by emergency personnel in hazmat suits, who searched for a non-specific substance. The body was later encased in layers of bags and aluminum casket. Laboratory analysis detected an unidentified chemical compound in the bags containing Ramirez's body and in air samples. During the autopsy, the conclusion was that she had died of kidney failure related to cancer, and no explanations of the bizarre phenomenon was found, which is incorrect. They've actually gone back and
Yeah.
found out she was using a topical cream to help with some of the pain, and it had a different chemical that leached into her body that reacted with the medicines that she was taking pre um, chemotherapy, and it turned her blood into poison, a airborne pathogen. The guy that actually stuck her is the one that had the bone degenerating disease because he took the initial waft of it.
Yeah.
And pretty much everybody close to her, that was the how bad it got.
Yeah, it basically turned her insides into like almost like a mustard gas type of situation, like ammonia.
Basically her blood, yeah. And the minute it hit, well, and it was fine as it was. It didn't contain oxygen.
But once it hit that oxygen,
it then transmutated, and they took forever to figure out what this was. But it's one of the weirdest phenomenons because she shouldn't have been alive.
Yeah, no, I remember this because this was around the time that the O.J. Simpson trial had started, and it was in the news, but that kind of overtook this case because at the time people were like, what the hell happened? They were thinking some type of chemical warfare, all kinds of stuff. I do remember that.
Yeah, when was this book published?
The 2000s.
Yeah, I mean, because it was probably wasn't until the late 2020s.
Yeah, it was early 2020s. Yeah.
That they finally figured out the chemical compounds. But yeah, no, it ruined one doctor's life because the bone disease. The other one got off the ventilator but had permanent lung damage. The other ones luckily had no lasting effects that they stated, but it knocked out like 8 different people in the whole room.
And a lot of them just ended up, luckily, with like gastrointestinal, serious gastrointestinal problems. But yeah, it was a crazy story.
So the quote on this one was we must have strong minds and ready to accept facts as they are. Harry S. Truman. Secret power.
It's actually a good quote.
Today's power is physical manifestation of disturbances in the ethereal realms.
So they're thinking that it was supernatural.
At the time. To optimize, it's probably best to avoid disturbances unless they come directly to you. Yeah, don't fuck with shit unless it's fucking with you is the short abbreviation of the. Yeah, that's more of no. Don't fuck with it unless it's fucking with you. Yeah, that was when I started reading. I was like, oh shit, I know this one. Yeah, the fact I even remember her name because it was unsolved for up until probably like you said about around 2020. I mean, after this book because this is a wax story and they don't have everything involved in it, but it was they finally figured it out. But it was like
close to a 30-year cold case, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So let us know if you've heard this story
of the baffling biology.
Yeah. And until next time,
stay whacking.